Hey class, I'm going to go ahead and reflect on our reading for this week. First, I wanted to talk about the Hall reading. That's the chapter that I read first, and I just felt like that reading was much easier. It was much more interesting to me than the Picciano text, but I also wanted to say a couple things about it. In the Hall text, the chapter is titled, How Will This Improve Teaching and Learning? And it's talking about technology and how it has to be integrated in today's realm of education and how important it is. One of the first things that really caught my attention and made me think was the very second page of the chapter where it says, no matter where you fall into the spectrum, my advice to you, hold it, sweetie, is to read this chapter if you want to keep your job. And that was funny to me because it's so true. As technology leaders, we have to integrate technology. It is so important, and so many teachers that I see in my district, and I know it's everywhere, I'm sure, have been teaching for a long time, and they just don't want to change the way they're teaching, and it really has to be done for the student and for the teacher and everyone. So I liked that, but the next part speaks about how education is changing due to technology, and how it has to be integrated in order for us to be successful and our students to be successful. It goes on to talk about different strategies and how the learning is different. But basically, the gist of it is it's going to be student-centered. With technology integration, if you're doing it right and doing it effectively, the learning should be student-centered rather than teacher-centered. The teacher should be the facilitator, which connects back to the sensei type of leader that we had spoken about before in a previous reflection. The Picciano text is also talking about technology integration. It also covers some of the issues that there are with it. And I connected to some of that because in my district, we're struggling with the funding part and having all of the technology. And right now we're working on the students becoming one-to-one so that every student has a device in their hand. And so when that happens, that will be wonderful, but it's very hard to come by. I found a article that kind of connected with the reading this week, and I wanted to share that. It's called The 7 Characteristics of a Good Leader by Maurice Elias. So it speaks about leadership, but it also ties into the technology piece because we have to be technology leaders and we have to instruct using technology and help our students to use the technology to discover the learning on their own. But it says there's 7 different types of characteristics of a good leader. Number 1 is a sense of purpose. Number 2 is justice. Number 3 is temperance. 4, respect. 5, empowerment. 6, courage. And 7, deep commitment. My favorite one really was number 2, justice. It says everyone in an organization should be held to common standards with rules and procedures that are clear, firm, fair, and consistent. And to me, that tied into this because everyone has to have the same common standards. They have to be held to that same standard, which means all teachers should be teaching the same way and making sure that they're integrating that technology. And that's about it. Thanks.